What is up, everybody? Welcome to the American Nomad Podcast. I am your host, the American Nomad, Rav Holly. Good to see you guys on this Wednesday evening. Wasn't no show Friday. I actually had a pretty horrendous one-wheel accident, so I didn't do a show Friday. If some of you were wondering if the show actually went out. And if we're actually streaming, I've actually got behind the scenes going on up here on Instagram. So if you are joining us on Instagram, hey guys, don't know if you can hear me over there. Just kind of got a BTS going over there on the Instagram thing. I thought I would talk about Clubhouse today. There's a lot of things going on in the news as far as current events, but as you know, because of our YouTube restrictions and getting demonetized and all that good stuff, we're not going to be talking about any of that kind of stuff today on the show. Let's see. Looks like everything's streaming like it's supposed to be. It's good to be back to doing the podcast. I've been slacking lately. Like I said, if you were here Friday, didn't see the show, it was because there was no show Friday. I actually ended up having a pretty bad spill on my one wheel. I had a girl turn into me as I was crossing and caused me to lose my balance, fall off my one wheel, and I have found out that I don't heal up near as good as I used to. Well, my Stream Elements bot is running, but it doesn't look like, Matilda, what is going on, Matilda? Good to see you. Finally got somebody in the chat there. I was wondering if it was even working for a second. How you doing this evening, Matilda? So we got Instagram up here running. Not sure how long anybody will pay attention to that. Eve, Brooklyn English Bulldog. Hey, Eve, how are you? I did get your message, Eve. I got your phone number. I just haven't had a chance to text you yet, Eve. But thank you for reaching out. I will be getting a hold of you. I actually talked to Ken. If you didn't know that, Eve, I actually texted Ken. I saw that he was having some health issues. Matilda says, sorry to hear about your fall. Yeah, I actually spent the weekend pretty much in bed because I don't heal up near as quick as I used to when I was a youngster. That one wheel thing is kind of a young man's game, but I enjoy it. So I, still at it. And literally, I was on the sidewalk. I'd went to dinner. I was trying to make it back to the studio to do the show. So I was pretty much hauling butt down the sidewalk, and I came to where the sidewalk ends, and there's an intersection. So in California, you actually stop and wait on the walk sign to change. Like in Texas, people just walk. But in California, you can actually get a jaywalking ticket. So everybody in California, you stop and you wait for the walk sign to turn for you to go. Well, as I was coming up to this red light, the walk sign, everything turned and I got the walk sign. So I'm on my one wheel. So I just come off of the sidewalk to go across the intersection. And this college girl, probably 19, 20 years old, if that, she's hauling ass in the right-hand lane, and she's going to make a right-hand turn. So if you've ever stepped off the curb to walk and had somebody turning and they have to slam on the brakes, that's what this girl did. But I, being on the one wheel, I didn't think she was going to stop, and I just barely caught the nose of her car out of the corner of my eye. So when I saw the nose of her car, I kind of panicked because I thought she was going to hit me. And so I went to just kind of jump off the one wheel. Well, it's a big no-no to step off a one wheel like a push skateboard. And because I've been push skateboarding for so many years, I basically just stepped off of the one wheel, and you just don't get off of a one wheel like that. It basically zooms out from underneath you. And so I fell back into her car, and it was a mess. But I got up. I was a little bruised, really bruised ego, but I made it back to the studio, but I was in so much pain I couldn't sit here and do the show. So that's why there was no show Friday, and then I ended up basically just laying around all weekend and recouping. So anyway, it is what it is. I knew when I bought that thing, part of the learning curve would be falling down. I knew I'd be able to ride it, but I knew that falling down to be part of it. And from the first time I got on it, I fell, busted my head within the first 20 seconds of being on it. So I really wasn't expecting to have this many spills that were this painful. I've been pushboarding, skateboarding for years, and the last bad spill I had on the skateboard, I was in Hollywood and I was skating over, oh my gosh, where was I? I was over off Fairfax, I believe, not Fairfax. I was over off Franklin Avenue. That's where it was. And I was skating down Franklin Avenue, and for those of you that are not familiar with Hollywood, the sidewalks are horrendous. So I'm skating down Franklin Avenue and ended up hitting a bad spot in the sidewalk and just went flying. And that was the last time I crashed on a skateboard, and that was a long time ago. Let me check on this Instagram thing here. It looks like it cut off. I thought it would work. I guess it doesn't. Oh, it paused due to poor connection. Huh. Well, that sucks. I think I got it going again. What's up, Instagram? Good to see you guys. But anyway, the Instagram is just kind of a behind-the-scenes thing. I thought I'd start it up and see what was going on. So if anybody of you on Instagram, you can look up. I have like a behind-the-scenes thing going with the Instagram. Let's see. Matilda says the older we get, the harder it is to get back up. Yes, that's so true. But I was always, I was raised if you fall, you get back up and keep going and try it again. Yes, Matilda, I did have my helmet on. As a matter of fact, I don't ride now without a helmet. My head is finally healed up. I don't really have the tender spot or the bruise on my head anymore. So, yes, I have basically, I don't ride anymore without a helmet, no matter where I'm going, even if it's just down the street to 7-Eleven. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm not really a big helmet enthusiast, but you just got to do, it's one of those things. You just got to do it, So how have you been, Eve? Are you back? I know you went to Vegas, I think. Keeps showing my connection is unstable here. I don't know what that is. Should have a great connection. I ended up changing computers because I was having such a bad connection the last time I did the stream on the other computer. So I changed back to the Alienware and put some more RAM in it. And it looks like it's having a bad connection. Let me make sure it's on the right. Let me make sure that I am on the right. Yeah, it's on the right. That's weird. Oh, that's a Windows update. Do not want to do that right now. Anyway, how have you guys been? Brooklyn says, yeah, it's a good idea to wear. Yes, I totally agree. And then there wasn't a Monday show either because I was still recuperating. Dead air, dead air, dead air. It's kind of funny. It's not really funny, but yeah, I'm doing good. But 420 is coming up, so it's busy. Oh yeah, that's true. Because you're doing some stuff for Ken, right, Eve? Matilda says, I've been researching Tennessee, maybe moving to Chattanooga. Wow, that'll be a big move. I've had some people move to Nashville. Friends move to Nashville. They really like Nashville. I like Nashville. It seems like Nashville and Austin are the two places that you get a lot of the Californians moving to Nashville and Austin. Well, the didn't look like the Instagram thing lasted very long. I was trying to do the live stream on the Instagram, but that didn't work very well. Matilda says, my other half may be getting a job there. Oh, that would be good. Yeah, if you can move with a job, that makes it even better, because then you don't have all of that. Pressure on you because you go to work as soon as you get there, so you're not worried about finding work. So that's the best way to do it. It's funny because the last episode that I did, I found myself struggling a little bit with what to talk about, which is weird because usually I've got so much to talk about that this podcast just flies by. But because, I'm just kind of not talking about anything that I want to talk about and just kind of trying to come up with things to talk about, it makes it kind of weird. Yes, Joan. It just makes it kind of weird. Instead of just, ranting about stuff I want to rant about. Instead of chemo, since Ollie had the cancer tumor, I give him the CBD and THC instead of chemo. Yeah, that's got to be much better for him. It's funny you say that because a friend of mine, she has a pug, Vanessa Ray Bent. She has a little pug and he's not been doing well, and I think he's got to start chemo. So I wonder if the CBD would work for him better than the chemo. He's just getting started, I think, on his chemo, and I know he lost his appetite. It's got to be really expensive for dogs. Matilda says, we can't talk about no, we can't talk about that. And I would love to talk about it, but we can't talk about that. Yes, I still have my step van, Joan. Matilda says, I can get the live on IG. I have the government pension I live on. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, what's going on, Joe Eldorado? I had a tumor removed from one of my cats on Monday. I'll find out Friday if it's bad or not. Oh my gosh. That's not good. How many cats do you have, Joe? Brooklyn says Eve says I couldn't see breaking down his system with chemo. Yeah, I totally understand that. My friend, like I said, she got her pug. He just started chemo, and I guess he's got a tumor as well. And she's having to force feed him because he has no appetite now. YouTube police will flag me. Yes, they will flag me. You can't talk about anything that has anything to do with any kind of current events or anything, or they'll demonetize. My channel's already been demonetized. So I just do this for the fun of it now. Eve says, with the CBD, THC, he has not lost his appetite or lost any weight. So worth it. My question is it going to do anything, though, for the tumor? Because that's why you do the chemo, right? To stop the growth of the tumor? Joan says, this is my 4th channel now, 3 suspended. Yeah, exactly. I have 2 channels, but this channel I started in 2006, so I never dreamed I would ever get demonetized. But they demonetized me, said I was producing harmful content, which I believe it probably. I think it probably, mostly came from that vaccine video that I uploaded, which I probably shouldn't even said that. CVK's dog Tucker almost died. He ingested oh my God, that's not good. You talking about Camper Van Kevin, CVK? I'm surprised he made it if he ate freaking rat poison. That's really spooky. That's almost as bad as a dog drinking antifreeze. Dogs are very much prone to drink antifreeze, and it will kill them immediately. I keep saying I'm going to get back doing the Nomad News thing, and it just doesn't happen. I don't have the passion to watch the van life community like I used to, which kind of sucks. Which brings me to my point today of the topic of the show was going to be why I took a break from Clubhouse. I know most of you guys, or I don't think any of you guys that are probably in the chat are on Clubhouse. But I'm sure you've probably heard me talk about it. Joe Eldorado says, crazy story at work. I'm a dog groomer. Yeah, I knew you were a dog groomer, Joe. But the reason I took a break from Clubhouse is it's an amazing application, and I've met some amazing people on there. As a matter of fact, probably my newest best friends are people that I've met on Clubhouse. Matilda says he was very lucky, puping blood. He had to be on vitamin K1 for several months. Man, hate to hear that. But so for Clubhouse, I absolutely love that app. I think it's the future of social media. I know that Facebook is scrambling to do a copy version of Clubhouse to implement into the Facebook community. I know they're working on it to be able to, you know how they do. They're such scumbags. Mark Zuckerberg, I mean, he's such a scumbag. If anybody comes up with anything that's original, he'll basically go look at it and steal it, which should be intellectual property. But he goes and steals it and just does a recreation of it. They did the same thing when they bought Instagram. When Snapchat come out, the Instagram story, it's just Snapchat. They basically just, stole what Snapchat was doing and implemented it into Instagram. So the people that run, they are like the scum of the earth. Like Mark Zuckerberg, all of these Facebook people, they are like this. They're like just as scummy as it gets. So what they're working on is a carbon copy of Clubhouse that they can do to, basically just rip off Clubhouse, because Clubhouse is something that is not Facebook. And I truly believe Clubhouse is the future of social media. It's just such a different experience. And I think next week I have 6 invites. You have to be invited to be on Clubhouse. It's not something that you can just, sign up for. You have to have somebody that's on the application already that will invite you to the application. So I think I have 6 invites. And so I think next week what is their Friday show. So on Friday's show, you have to have an iPhone, doesn't work on Android yet. But if you want to be on Clubhouse, or if somebody wants to check it out, I'm going to give away 1 invite to someone that is someone on the show, someone who comments. And so somebody that wants to check out Clubhouse, I'm going to give away an invite. Like I said, the only stipulations is you have to watch the show here, and you have to have an iPhone. And I'll have to have your phone number to get you on there. Let's see. Joe says a guy brought in his mom's dog in bad shape. He told us that his mom died a month ago with the dog stuck in the house with her body. Oh my God. Yeah, I've heard of those stories before. Yeah, that's that the animals, they literally will live off of when the owner dies and they're stuck in there, they have nothing to consume or to eat. It's up to the person that was their caretaker or their owner. I've heard of these stories before, so that's not a new one, but it's pretty horrific. Hey, Lance Hale, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Wonder where he was a chunky boy. I bet he was. He was eating good. Lots of protein. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. But yeah, like I said, I've actually heard of those stories a couple times before. Was this in Austin? Where was this at, Joe? Pretty crazy. Joan Arc. I'm trying to remember who the heck you are. But anyway, back to Clubhouse. So I'm going to be probably giving away a invite to Clubhouse. So if anybody wants, North Austin, if anybody wants to check out Clubhouse. But the reason I'm taking a break from Clubhouse, and I've been off Clubhouse now for about a month, maybe a little over a month now, is I got too addicted to it. It's so addicting, man. Like I was spending hours on Clubhouse, hours and hours and hours on Clubhouse. And I saw in myself some toxic behavior because you're really talking to people. You know, it's an app. It's not like Facebook. I don't really know how to explain it. It's more like going to a conference. If you've ever went to like a conference, it's more, I was Kristen Harper, Christina Jones. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Christina. It's more like it's really hard to explain. It's like going to a conference. If you've ever went to like, I don't know, like any kind of conference. So you go into like a big conference stadium or like a room or like an auditorium, and then you have a stage that you have the speakers up on the stage, and then you have the audience, and maybe at the front row of the stage, you might have people that know the people that are on the stage. So that's kind of the way Clubhouse works, and it's all audio. So you have a stage or you have moderators, and the moderators will have like this little green icon by their name. So the person that creates the room, they'll be the main moderator, and then they can make other moderators. Everybody can be a moderator, but then when you first go into the room, you're basically in the audience. And then if you want to go up on the stage and speak, there's a little button for you to raise your hand, and then you can go up and speak. And it's all based on you just talk. And there's something about being able to actually talk and communicate rather than just posting like you find on Facebook or Twitter where you're just typing out whatever the hell you want to say. There's something about being able to actually talk that makes it much more cordial. You have people, you have crazy progressive Democrats on there or liberals, and then you have conservatives. You have everybody. It's a mix of everybody. But you don't really have anybody fighting over politics, because being able to actually really have a conversation with someone, even though if you may not agree on stuff, it's not like Facebook where you're just throwing zingers at people, trying to troll them or say something mean to them, or, you don't have like crazy leftists calling, trumpets or Trumpansies or anything like that. And then you don't have like crazy conservatives calling liberals libtards or anything like that. I mean, people, when you're actually having a real conversation, which is the greatest thing about Clubhouse, when you're having a real conversation, you find that you're much more cordial. And you're not so much about just trying to, troll people or talk smack or anything like that. You actually have some real genuine conversations. And I've met some amazing people on there. And some people that I've met on there, I've actually went out. I went clubbing, I guess, a month ago with some of the people that I met on there. I met them out in Newport. And we all went out to the clubs like the first weekend that all the clubs opened back up here in Orange County. We all went clubbing, and it was crazy because every single club that we went to, there was a line of probably 50 to 100 people. Nobody was wearing masks. Once we got into the club, it was probably 4 to 6 stacked deep at the bar trying to get a drink, just like old times. And there was like I said, no one was wearing a mask, and it was just like back to olden times before C-19, you know what I mean? It was weird. But yeah, it was cool. Matilda says, that's my fear because of the pandemic lockdown. I spend way too much time on YouTube. Freedom Dove, what's going on, Freedom Dove? Yeah, so that's another amazing thing about Clubhouse is because because of the pandemic, uh, it actually it gives you like interaction with people. So it was really cool to be able to have some real interaction with people, because most of the interaction I get is with you guys, and you guys are basically listening to me talk, and and then I'm basically responding to your chat, but I'm not listening to you, which is the difference with Clubhouse, because you can actually speak, so you can have a real conversation. So it's basically, I guess the best way to say it would be, it'd be like a Zoom call, I guess, without any video. But because of the way it's structured, it works a lot better than Zoom for audio only purposes, I guess. What's going on, Freedom Dev? Good to see you. Sorry, but what is Clubhouse? Clubhouse is a new social media application, and I've been talking about it for about 15 minutes, Dove. I think Clubhouse is the future of social media. But the reason I'm taking a Clubhouse break, and the reason I've been off Clubhouse, is because I just got too addicted to it, and I don't like that feeling of being the FOMO. What do they call it? Fear of missing out. FOMO. I don't like that feeling, and I was getting that feeling a whole lot, where I felt like, I couldn't do anything. Like I'd be, every time, I was trying to do something, I would be like jonesing for Clubhouse, like thinking to myself, like, what are they saying on Clubhouse? Like, what's going on in Clubhouse? I'd just be trying to do something, like trying to get some work done or whatever I was trying to do. Like, I just wanted to be on Clubhouse. And then one day I stopped and really kind of evaluated like where I was at, and my office was an absolute pigsty disaster. And then I stopped and thought about it, and I was literally spending hours and hours and hours on Clubhouse, and I would run out really quick, grab pizza or grab something to eat, come back and eat it, and not even throw the wrappers and stuff away, because I was so entranced, or I don't know if that's the right word, but I was so enthralled in these conversations that I'm having on Clubhouse, especially if you're hosting a room. I would be so enamored with this dialogue and stuff that's going on Clubhouse, that I would just eat and leave the wrappers and stuff right here on my desk. And then I basically one day just realized, like, oh my God, like, this is not healthy. So I really realized that I was having I don't know if it was an addiction problem, because I don't really get addicted. I don't really have an addictive personality. But I realized that I was spending way too much unhealthy time on Clubhouse. So I basically took a break. And then the only downside of Clubhouse is when you have people, you're going to have drama. And I hate drama. So that was another reason that I took a break, because there was some drama that popped up. And you get big personalities. There's a lot of celebrities on Clubhouse. There's a lot of celebrities, influencers. It's an invite only thing right now, like I said. So, it's starting to open up to just your everyday people. But back when I first got on, it was right when Elon Musk was on there, and he hosted a room on there. So, you have a lot of people with large egos, and when you get a lot of people with large egos, I'm just as guilty of as myself. You get a lot of, I don't know, people that, I don't know, some people hating on other people, and, you get a lot of people that, love to listen to themselves talk and that kind of thing. And so there was a lot of toxicity, I guess you would say. And so a lot of toxic behavior started coming out. And I think a lot of that was dealing with a lot of people that were just like me, spending way too much time on Clubhouse and not taking breaks. But with that being said, I've met some amazing people, like my friend Allie. She's a very high-end therapist in New York City. And these are people that I became really good friends with in a relative short amount of time. and people that ended up with their phone numbers, you know what I mean? Like, and when it comes to dating, I think Clubhouse, some app like Clubhouse is going to be the future of dating, because you can literally meet somebody on Clubhouse, exchange numbers, and just start talking to each other. There's a girl that I know that's Ukrainian. She lived here in LA. She's in Bali right now, but we talk on a regular basis. You know, it's a whole different social media experience. And my hope and prayer is, and if you can hear these, so I don't know if you can hear my phone, it's continuously going off. And so let's see if I can get this to focus. So it's continuously going off here, and you can't really see it, but right here, those messages that keep coming up are a Instagram feed of all of my best friends in Clubhouse. And there's a text chain that we have on Instagram where we all communicate through Instagram as well about what's going to be going on in Clubhouse. That's crazy, which I haven't been in that either, but I stay part of the room because I'm going to be getting back on Clubhouse at some point. Let's see. Freedom Dove says, okay, we'll rewatch the live feed. Social media seems addictive. I'm not on any social media, so I wouldn't know. You're lucky, Freedom Dove. It's funny. I met a girl through my new One Wheel, and she's up in, I think she's up in Santa Clarita, not Santa Clarita, it's where the One Wheel was invented. Santa Cruz. She's up in Santa Cruz, and she just bought a Suburban, and she is building it out into a camper. And I sent her one of your videos, Freedom Dove, showing your Suburban-Overlander, however you pronounce it, to give her some ideas about her Suburban, because her Suburban's just a stock Suburban. And she's thinking about putting a lift on it. And I showed her the video of yours, Freedom Dove, and the lift that you put on it with the 17-inch tires, the 33s. And so she was pretty inspired by seeing your Sub-Overlander, Freedom Dove. Joe Eldorado goes, I keep social media on my tablet. My phone is only Facebook Messenger. Sub-Overland, yes. Thank you, Freedom Dove. You know, I don't even use Facebook Messenger. I hate Facebook Messenger. The only time I will use the Facebook Messenger, I got to turn this down. It's driving me nuts. That's the only bad thing about this is like when they're talking through the chat. I mean, it's just like one message after the other on Instagram. What was I going to say? She can take her vehicle to Sub-Overland and they could do the work for her. Yeah, I don't think she wants to do that. I think she's going to do it herself. Just here and there. I'm scared to ask how much you paid to get them to do that, Freedom Dove. Brooklyn says, my brother finally went home since being ravaged. Oh my gosh, that's such good news, Eve. Joe Eldorado says, I do too, but the 40K group I play in real life use it. What group is that, Joe? In real life use it? The only reason that I keep Facebook is I'm on a 30-day suspension again, my third one. Like, I can't have any kind of conversation on Facebook because they're watching like everything I say. So as soon as I say something, they ban me for 30 days. I can't remember why they banned me the last time. It was so funny. I'm like 15 days into a 30-day suspension again. But if it wasn't for the Facebook market, I do love the Facebook market. And if it wasn't for the Facebook market, I'd get rid of Facebook completely. Freedom Dove says, my rig was $6,000 with all the work done for me. I would have spent that much on normal vehicle without mods. Wow, that is not bad. That's actually not bad, Freedom Dove. I was expecting more around 12 to 14. So that was them putting the lift on it and the tires and the wheels and everything that they did to it. A bunch of nerds playing tabletop wargaming. Oh, like Dungeons and Dragons? I'm really happy to hear that your brother finally got to go home, Eve. Because I know he was in really bad shape. That's just it, man. Cove, the whole sea thing, like if it gets you bad, it's going to get you. Like a lot of people just don't even have a problem with it. They don't even know they have it. They have it and they don't even know they have it. Like some girl that was just on the Joe Rogan Experience, she like tested and she ended up testing positive. She didn't even know she had it. Joan says, well, I'm off to bed. Good night all. It's 10:30 here on the East Coast. I'm here. I'll catch the replay. No worries, Joan. Good night. Have a good night. They are a very good family-owned company. Gotcha, Freedom Dove. Yep, lift, tires, complete inspection, etc. They even ripped out all the passenger seats for me. Wow. Yeah, that's actually not a bad deal. But then, like, what year is your Suburban, Freedom Dove? If you don't mind me asking, I don't remember. Eve says, thank you. He walked out on his own free will when they released him. Amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, my old boss, Serena, if you guys remember Serena, her dad, he almost died of COVID. He was on a ventilator for 3 weeks. They didn't think he was going to make it. Like they had already done all the last rites things, and you know the doctor said he had like maybe like a 15% chance of pulling through, 10 to 15% chance of pulling through. They basically, the medical staff at the hospital had written him off, that they were just waiting on him to pass away. And he ended up recovering. He's still in traction and rehab, and you know, still getting better. But he survived, and nobody thought he was going to survive. Freedom Dove says the price is dependent on the year and mileage. Mine is a 2005, and it had 195,000 miles on it. Gotcha. Yeah, because I think you could probably get Suburban for $6,000. It's a 2005 with 195,000 miles on it. Let's see. These new jabs are just about, yeah, I hear that, Freedom Dove. I'd love to talk about it, but I can't. But for myself, you know, I did an Instagram story about it it's probably been about a week ago. I mean, it's just, I'm good with my antibodies. I'll stick with my antibodies. I had it. So, you know, I'll stick with my antibodies. And, you know, the jab, it's not going to last, you know, they're saying that it might last 6 months and then you have to get a booster. So, you know, like what really is that going to do? And then the scary part about it is it, you know, could have some kind of lasting effect that you're not knowing about right now, and you won't know about until, you know, later on down the road, because they rushed this thing through so freaking quick. But for me, I mean, if you want to get that, more power to you. Just don't be pressuring other people or, you know, acting like other people have to get it too, because that's your decision. Everybody should make their, you know, we're all adults. Everybody should make their own decision. I always forget I have these freaking banners. I make them and then I never use them. Joe says, I've probably already gotten it. I had a few outbreaks at my work and I came back negative. Every time I get tested, I still come back negative. Fingers crossed. Yeah, the thing is they could test you. They test you and they can see your antibodies if you've had it. Matilda says, I've traveled so much internationally, I've gotten a bunch of different jabs. Yeah, if you travel a lot, I mean, there's several different countries, like certain countries, like Africa, you got to get, or there's, like the Congo and stuff, you have to get, no, it starts with an M. What is the malaria? You have to get like a malaria shot. Freedom Dove says ventilators, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I totally agree, Freedom. Random Nomad, there you are, dude. Yes, for sure, buddy. Good to see you, man. Did you not get a notification that I was doing a show, Random Nomad? It's so funny because when I started the show, the first few minutes, there was nobody here. Matilda finally showed up. But probably 5 minutes into the show, it was 0 people in the room, and it was crazy because I was like, it threw me off because Random Nomad wasn't here because he's always like right on. He's like right on it. Like as soon as I start the show, I have him to talk to. So it literally threw me off today because Random Nomad wasn't here. Yes, better late than never. Oh, you got no notification? That figures. Since they demonetized me, they're probably not even putting out notifications anymore. It sucks, but it is what it is. So has anybody seen I don't want to get into any kind of political stuff, but has anybody seen what's going on with CNN? Did, but it was in another stream that I watched and was an auction for coin. Oh, gotcha. No worries, Random Nomad. No worries at all, buddy. Totally get that. Good job, Freedom Dove. Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen what's going on with CNN, I'm not going to get into it, but you can go to like Twitter if you have a Twitter, and just put in CNN, and it'll give you a whole thing of what's going on with them. Yeah, so it's pretty juicy. They basically got lit. They got lit up. Really lit up. Joe says, I've been ignoring most news right now, mostly because yeah, for sure. Same with me, Joe. That's another great thing about Clubhouse, though, is they're really not talking about any of these current event things that are going on that, is being peddled by the media. It's and it's super refreshing to be able to just have conversations, and it doesn't have anything to do with any kind of political stuff. Everybody's just talking about life in general, which I really, which is a nice change of pace. Random Nomad says, yeah, no, my name bugs out of me when people put I in my name. Freedom says, I haven't paid news since election. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on in Minnesota, but it's just one thing after another up there. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah, the IE is a female form. And for guys, it's usually just a E or a Y on the end. But if it has an IE, that's a girl. Yep, more of that stuff going on up there. Joe says, I've tuned most of it out since September now. I just hunt hogs, work, and do nerd stuff. Nothing wrong with that, man. I miss some hog hunting. I haven't hunted hogs in a long time. Yep, I absolutely agree with you, Freedom Dove. You know, my whole take on that is it's this. So if you also don't know, in New Mexico, gosh, I don't remember when it was, but I think it was actually happened in December. I can't remember. But anyway, the video just emerged, and this happened in New Mexico, and it was a state trooper, and he basically, wasn't good what happened to him. And, you know, when it comes down to it, when you have criminals and cops, both start with a C. When you have criminals and you have cops, and when the two converge, definitely something could happen. I mean, it is what it is. You had this kid in, Minneapolis, criminal. You know what I mean? He had a active warrant out for his arrest, for strong-armed robbery or aggravated assault robbery or something like that. So, when you have criminals and cops and the two come together, and then, like I said, you had the cop in New Mexico, he got the worst end of that deal. And pretty sad. I looked him up on Facebook and his girlfriend, and, he had little kids. It's a sad deal. But when you have cops and you have criminals, and when the two converge, bad things can happen. And when they do, I don't know why anybody's getting all bent up. I don't know why anybody's freaking out over it. You know what I mean? When it happens, it happens. Joe says, after the Texas blizzard, we were burning lots of dead frozen hogs. Oh, I bet. Because did a lot of them freeze and die, Joe? The hogs? Random no message, just saying I'm pro police and rocket thing. Yeah, I am too, random. Exactly, Freedom Dove. And don't have active warrants out for, a robbery you did. If you have a freaking warrant out for a robbery you did, that's not going to work out very, very well for you. Oh man, I hate to hear that, Random Nomad. Joe says, yeah, we found all types of frozen animals, raccoons to cows. Jesus. That was a pretty weird storm. I'm from Texas, and I don't ever remember a storm like that. It snowed, it's gotten cold, but I can't remember anything like that. That storm was pretty weird. But there's this guy that's on Instagram, and he does these, the hell is the guy's name? Can't think of his name. You would know him if I showed you a picture of him. He just does these monologues where he's just, and so he's basically ranting about, the Texas storm and how the government of Texas didn't take care of its citizens and all of this BS. If that same storm hit California, it would be, oh my God, it would be so much worse than Texas. I mean, there would be thousands of people that would die. Thousands. And he's over here ranting about Texas. He needs to shut the fuck up. Because if it happened in California, which I think he's in California, if that shit had happened in California, I bet you 10,000 people would die. Or probably more than that. There's 60,000 homeless people. Where are they going to go? There's 60,000 homeless people just in the city of LA. If half of them fucking freeze to death, that's 30,000 people right there. It was minus 7 degrees in Austin. Yeah, that's, I can remember it getting down to like -3, -4 out in West Texas where I grew up. Random Nomad, I don't think it's ever gotten below 0 in Texas though. Yeah, oh yeah, it has. It has, Random Nomad. When I was there 3.5, 4 years ago, it got down to 11 degrees when I was in Dallas. But it was like they said it was the coldest it had been in like 22 years, which made sense. Freedom Dove says, we've known this for a very long time. It was only recently that we were lied to and told to live on a globe. I don't want to freak you guys out, but I must tell you the earth is, I'm not even going to say it. Yeah, I'll jump into that one, Freedom Dove. I've researched it and I've watched all the crazy, I've watched all the crazy flat earther videos on YouTube, and, it's, there's some compelling stuff. Either way. And when, I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know. I can't tell you. I haven't been to outer space and been able to look down and see the globe. So I don't know. Yes. And they've gotten rid of all of those videos too, Freedom Dove. Joe Eldorado says if it was flat, people would be falling off because of the social to show me that Freedom does show me the curve. My deal is like when these it is kind of pretty strange when people like these boats sail away and they take like a telescope, they can still see them. Matilda says, Rob, once a channel is demonetized, what does it take to get it remonetized? It takes doing some more videos that aren't controversial, that are just vanilla, and then getting your views back. It's basically going through the process all over again. You got to have 400 hours of watch time, and I can't remember 1,000. I can't remember. I think it's 400 hours of watch time, but it's the same thing as if it had never been monetized. You got to meet the exact same things again. But if I start doing some videos, like some unboxing videos and stuff like that, then, and if I can get my views back up, I'll be able to get remonetized and not talk about, the earth being, you can't talk about any of that kind of stuff. Anything that's controversial, you just got to be vanilla. The Antarctic is off limits. We can't explore it because of the Antarctic Treaty. It tags you as being in LA. Yeah, I'm in the LA area. I'm in Orange County. I'm not even in Los Angeles County, but it tags I'm in the area. Yeah, my whole deal with that, Freedom Dove, is I hear what you're saying, but the problem is you can't really say either way. That's my whole thing. That's my whole theory on all of it. Like when people ask me about aliens, do you believe in aliens? I don't know. I mean, is there other life out there? I mean, there's supposedly millions, billions of other, planets and stuff out there. There's stars and stuff. So I'm sure there's probably something out there somewhere, but do I know? No, I don't know. Is there a God? Don't know. Could be, maybe not, maybe, yes, I don't know. I have no idea. And it's the same thing with, is the earth round? I don't know. I mean, everything that I learned as a kid, we all was told that it was, but on the other hand, if you had been educated and brought up that it was not, then that's what you would believe. You know what I mean? So as far as me, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't been to outer space to see it, so I don't know. Freedom Dust says there was a guy who went to the Antarctic by himself and was arrested. You can't go there without being on a very expensive tour. Yes, that's true. But there are people that fly over Antarctica, Freedom Dove, in airplanes. Matilda says there's a whole scientific there's a whole lab or whatever you would call it up there in Antarctica that costs millions of dollars for scientists to be up and around there. Schools knew 100 years ago that it was flat. That's not true, Freedom Dove. They have flown over it. That's not true, Freedom Dove. You can fly over it. You can fly over it. I actually know somebody who's flown over it. And when I had this conversation with them, that's what they talked about when they flew over it. They flew right over it. But if you look at it, if you're just looking at it, it looks like it's, so, it is what it is. And then the other thing that you think about, that I always think about is, you think about gravity and stuff like that. Yeah, sure. You know what I mean? But then if you think about like Brazil, if it's so weird to think about it, because if you're on this ball, then all these buildings are like this, in parts of the world. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But, like I said, I don't know. I'm not getting into that rabbit hole. That's exactly right. You're exactly right, Freedom Dove. No railroad ever was. Your exact gravities. That's very true, Freedom Dove. But like I said, I don't know. I'm not getting into it. I don't know one way or the other. But I used to think the same thing as you, Freedom Dove, that you couldn't fly over, and I was proven wrong. But like I said, I don't know. But anyway, guys, that's 59 minutes. We're going to end this thing at 1 hour. I want to thank you guys for stopping in. And if you don't know what Clubhouse is, be sure to, there's a bunch of YouTube videos here on YouTube about Clubhouse. I actually may do one of, I may do a Clubhouse video. But go ahead and check some of them out if you think you might. All the ancient religions and cultures know that's because that's what they see. You know what I mean? Freedom Dove, back in the day, that's what you see. I mean, if you just walk outside, there's no curve to anything. Everything is just, So back in the ancient times, they weren't even, up in the sky. So they just thought, But anyway, like I said, I don't know. I hope to know one day. Bye, Eve. Have a great evening, Eve. Have a great evening, everyone. But anyway, again, really quick, if you do a little research, if you think you might want an invite to Clubhouse, if you have an iPhone, Friday evening, when I do the show Friday, if I don't have another one-wheel accident, then I'm going to be giving away a invite to Clubhouse for one of you guys that want it. So if you want it, let me know. Anyway, guys, be safe on your one-wheel ride. Thank you, Matilda. I definitely will try. Freedom Dove, love you as always. It's always amazing. I go down those same rabbit holes, Freedom Dove. I've been down all of them, so you're not telling me anything that I don't know. But, like I said, I just don't know. I would like to know. I would like to be a proven fact one way or the other. Just like the moon. If you look at the whole moon thing, it's everybody wants to just say it happened, but when you start looking at it, there's some questions I have there. Like, I don't know. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the old map, Freedom Dove. It's all the way around us. My whole thing is on the other point is I have friends of mine that they have sailboats and they've sailed around the world. So, But anyway, that's a discussion for another time. Have a great evening, guys. It was great to see you, and thank you so much for showing up and hanging out with me. And we will see you guys back here, if everything goes right, Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And let's cue the outro.
Thank you for listening to the American Nomad Podcast. Until next time.